Hi, everybody. It's Cindy with Candles and Supplies for one of my favorite things of the time of year. It's time for strategic planning. So we had a really awesome strategic planning workshop on Friday. So if anybody's here that was in that workshop, I know everybody had a great time. It was really, really awesome. So I wanted to do kind of a mini version of that because we got some great feedback for people. So it's the time of year to think about what you want in 2022, like what's this year going to bring to you, what are you going to make happen, like let's set goals, let's plan things, let's do things. And that all sounds intimidating, but it's really not intimidating, it's more exciting. So let's think about this. Like, things don't usually happen unless you make them happen, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not like one of those people where just like good thing just happens to me all the time and stuff like that. It doesn't happen. We make it happen, right? We set our goals, we set our plans, we make life happen. So that way we make sure we get the best of it. So in the chat, there is a link to the blueprint that we use for our strategic planning. Christine just posted it there for you. So that way you can click on it. You can look at it as we go along. You can write things in there. You can print it out for later. You can print out a couple copies for later. I usually find myself printing out a couple copies and doing the first one in pen and then going back and doing pencil and erasing and this and that. This isn't something like that you have to put it down and then it's done, right? You keep working on it. Strategic plan is a plan that you keep working and tweaking on and stuff like that. When this is really useful is as the year progresses. So, we've been faced with like all kinds of things over the last few years, right? So things, unforeseen things that have never happened, things that will probably never happen again in our lifetime. If you have a plan starting out in the year and then things go haywire or sideways, whatever happens, you already have your plan set. So no matter where your head is, what you're thinking about, you can always go back to that plan. It's kind of like a trusted friend, right? Pick up your plan. It's my old friend. Okay, I'm going to get back on track now. This happened. Okay, I'm going to get back on track now. You go revisit your plan. We are creative people and we are artists, so we tend to be all over the place at all times. That's what makes us wonderful. And that's a good thing. But sometimes, we're creative and we can go in 50 different directions at a time and stuff. And then if we don't write things down and plan things, we may forget 48 of those directions. And maybe those 48 things were like really awesome ideas that are going to improve the world, help the world, make money for you, whatever they're going to do. But if you get it down and you write it down, it's going to help you moving forward, especially when things get crazy, go sideways, and who knows what 2022 is going to bring. So we don't really know. Certainly has been an interesting 2020 and 2021 as well. I think we can be guaranteed of a few things. The sun will rise and set every single day, so that's a good thing. Time will go on no matter what happens. That's a good thing too. We'll probably still have a few supply chain issues. So, but I feel like we're growing and we're adapting and everything like that too. So first thing when you plan is to kind of look in the rearview mirror. I call this a rearview mirror exercise, and I believe there's a sheet in there where you kind of just look at 2021. This isn't an exercise where you beat yourself up, okay? I don't want you to beat yourself up and be like, well, this went wrong, that went wrong. It's good and bad. So first, write down, 3 things that you accomplished that you're really proud of. At least 3 things. If there's more than that, I encourage you to do more than that. Like, keep thinking of these things. If you get your mind in a positive mind frame, like looking, I did this, I grew my sales, I went to all these shows, I did, this, I helped these people. If you get your mind in a positive flow, it will just keep flowing, and then it'll flow in a positive way moving forward too, as far as your planning. So don't beat yourself up. Not all of us got everything done on our to-do list. Not all of us met our goals. If we met all of our goals, we weren't reaching far enough, setting big enough goals. So, but don't beat yourself up. Just look, see what you would do better. Just kind of reflect in the rearview mirror. Rearview mirror is small for a reason, right? You look in it, you want to check out what's there, but then you move forward. The windshield's big. So first, think about your 2021. What happened? What'd you do? Your accomplishments. What could have been better? If you had a do-over button, what would you do over? Because a lot of times, the same business situations or life situations will present itself multiple times. So, next time it presents that same thing, if you already know what you would do over, if you had a do-over button, makes it a whole lot easier. So give that some thought. That helps you plan for 2022 too. So the things that went well, keep doing more of those. Go with that. You're good at it. keep going with that. That's awesome. You're on a good trend. Things that didn't go so well or you wouldn't do different, well, you can abandon that, stop that. We don't need to do that again this year. So now you know. but just do a reflection on 2021 and what it had to offer you. So if anybody has any questions too, post it as we go along. If you have any questions about the sheets too, just post them in there and we'll get to your questions during the live. I love to do this strategic planning every year. One thing, like I get in the mind frame of doing this and I don't want to be disturbed. Like it's one of those things where everybody just needs to leave me alone and I want to do my planning and I want to think about things and reflect on, what we did before, what we're doing going forward, that type of thing. So it's not something that you can do if, your workplace is busy, your store's busy or your house is busy. It's not something that you can do with a lot of activity going on, or you're not going to be able to, really think deeply about the things you want and stuff like that. This could be something, maybe you want to do this a little every night, like when it's quiet, before bed or whatever, when you're reflecting on the day. As part of, your meditation, think about things that you want to put in your strategic plan too. Again, this is a plan. This is to be worked on while you're setting the majority of it now or thoughts, dreams, visions and dreams are the things are your big things. And then you have goals to help you to get to those dreams and visions. And then you have a strategy to help you reach your goals. So there's a lot of work, involved in this to where you get what you want to be. So another fun sheet that I like, I'm going to hold it right up here. You'll probably see it on there. Just some questions to ask yourself about the year coming up. Hopefully you can all see that. Yeah. If not, it's in the link too. Things I'm going to learn to do this year. So this year I'm going to learn how to, I'm going to learn how to make candles. I'm going to learn how to make cold processed soap. I'm going to learn how to do Google Analytics. I'm going to learn how to live stream. I'm going to learn how to formulate body butters, whatever it is. Put some things down there that you want to learn how to do. That's fun. Learning is fun. So put some things down on there. And then I'm going to do more, maybe it's more events this year, more craft shows. I'm going to do more strategic planning and figuring out like how to reach my goals and set my goals. I'm going to do more vacationing. I'm going to do more sleeping, whatever it is. Write down what you're going to do more of. Next question, I'm going to do less. And I always put things like worrying, spending time unnecessarily doing things, not productive, trying to be productive when I can't be productive when I'm tired. So think about things that you're going to do less of. And then I'm finally going to, and this could be go on vacation. It could be launch my website and, whatever it is, you could put, I'm finally going to, I'm finally going to get a son-in-law because my daughter's getting married this year. So that's one of I'm finally going to. And then I'm going to go, and this could be wherever you're going to go. Like, I'm doing a speaking event for the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild. So I put that on there. I'm going to Kansas City to the Soap Guild conference. Wherever you're going to go, maybe it's just, I'm going to go to, and this could be personal or business, wherever you're going to go. And then I'm excited too. So think about, what excites you. What are you excited to do this year? I'm very excited for my daughter to get married. I'm very excited we have all kinds of new jars and fun new products coming in. I'm super excited for that because I know you guys are going to love them as much as we do. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to, launch new scents this year and new projects and make our blog come alive. I'm very excited to do all that too. So write down what excites you, like what you're excited to do this year or what you want to do that makes you, maybe it's based on I'm going to do more, whatever it is, more reading. And then I'm excited to read all these books. So it could be that. It all kind of goes into each other. Oh, my camera's falling over. Sorry. Got attacked. Yeah. So that's that page. Again, that's a fun one. And you can add to it too. I suggest you write kind of on the small side. That way you have plenty more room. I find myself adding to this as the year goes along. So it's a fun sheet. Next one. This is also kind of reflective. It also tells like your state of everything. to date. This is called a wheel of life exercise. Um, so basically, there's a wheel and it's divided into sections, and each section has a ranking from 1 to 10. So what you want to do is just fill in the section with how satisfied you are about that. So some of the sections, like one section is career. How satisfied are you with your career? You could also cross that out and put business if you're just in business. Finance. How satisfied are you with your finances? Are they a mess? Maybe they get a 1. Maybe they're awesome and you've saved every penny and don't spend anything and you have lots of money, but have lots of money, or otherwise. Personal growth. Do you feel like you're growing as a person? Do you feel like you're learning? Do you feel like you're helping more? Do you feel like you're becoming a better person every day? That's your personal growth. Health. How is your health? You feeling good? Energy, that type of thing. Not sick. So just kind of takes where you're at. I mean, we all want to lose weight and get more fit for the the new year. That's all of our reflection and that type of thing. But no, how are you really feeling? Like how do you feel like your health is? So your family. How's your family? How's everything going with your family? That type of thing. Fill that in. Again, 1 is a low score, 10 is a high score. So if things are great, rated as 10s. If it's not great, it gets a 1 or somewhere in between. Relationships. And this could either be with a significant other or your friends or, whatever you consider with your relationships. So fill that in. I think it's really meant for like significant others and stuff, but you could fill it in, as you feel like you want to. So social life. Like, how's your social life? You hanging out with your friends or not hanging out with your friends or, staying home? That's what you want for your social life. Whatever it is, again, how satisfied you are from 1 to 10. And then last but not least, your attitude. So going into the new year, how's your attitude? Take a temperature check on that. Are you excited? Are you enthused? Are you not looking forward to this year? Hopefully not. New year, new you. But how's your attitude moving forward? So keep that in check too. And this, once you get all this filled in, and you fill in all your circles and stuff like that, take a couple minutes to reflect on each one too. So at first you may be like, oh, my relationship sucks, this and that, whatever. Well, then think about it and like, well, I haven't really done anything to go out on dates or anything. So is it really that bad? Or is it like my attitude that needs an adjustment? So take some time to think about each one. And then it becomes apparent, like very apparent when you look at this, the ones that aren't filled in a lot, you should maybe put a little more effort into there or a little more focus into whatever these categories are to try to get them more full. So in a perfect world, all these would be filled up to 10s and everything would be wonderful, but we don't live in a perfect world. But this is a nice exercise. And do it at least once a year. I see a lot of planners. I love planners. I see a lot of planners. They actually have this either once a month or once a quarter, just to kind of, gauge where you're at and stuff like that. Seeing if you're making any progress in those buckets that aren't so full. But it's a fun, easy exercise. So, and it really straightforward, right in front of you, points out like things that, maybe you should focus a little more on. So that's fun. Okay. Next, I think I'm missing some of these sheets here, but you may have more on yours. Okay. Next, there is just a calendar. So on the wheel of life and stuff like that, and where you want to improve on and what you want to do and stuff like that. I have this calendar, and what I do with this, sometimes I'll just hang this up. So if it's something like, if we want to, one time a couple of years ago, I'm like, why aren't sales going up? Like, I feel like sales should have gone up more this quarter, and we're not doing what we should. We're not where we should be and stuff like that. And I was like, what is going on? Or, what is happening? And then I kind of did a little exercise on a calendar, like, okay, how many days did I put effort towards sales growth? So I'm going to highlight that. So I, with a green highlighter or a yellow highlighter, each day that I made an effort to grow sales or to contact customers or to do whatever that would support sales growth, I highlighted on the calendar here. Well, guess what? That year when I was complaining about sales, not being where I thought they should be, there is very little highlights going on in there. So, we weren't launching new products like we should. We weren't, sending out emails like we should and stuff. So, well, with no effort, there's not going to be any results. So again, this is a real easy thing to see where your efforts and everything are going to. We're all very busy too. That's another thing. We're very busy. We're doing 50 jillion things at once and stuff like that at all times. We're juggling lots of hats. I know if you have your own business and stuff, you're probably doing 25 different jobs, at least 25 different jobs within an hour or two. So, and then, trying to find other time just for yourself and everything too. So, this is a real good one. So if you see, and I would suggest using like a different color highlighter or a different color pen or something like that for each kind of effort. So if it's something like, I'm going to write on here all the events that I attend or the craft shows or whatever that I booked. That can be pink. Maybe your sales events, you're going to make green, anytime you send an email or, do a social media post could be another color, or a live stream could be another color. So do each activity that you put effort in a different color. And then you'll be able to see very condensed on one page where all your time and efforts are going. So makes it very, very, very simple that way. So kind of keeps track, keeps everything, measured and keeps it in line too. Again, very easy exercise. You can do it at the end of the day. Sometimes you'll do three things, like maybe you'll do a craft show and then send out an email that you're in a craft show or this or that. So theoretically, that's going to be a multicolored day. You'll have, a bunch of different colors on that line. So, but more effort is better than less effort. And then this is a really cool page. So this is kind of a very powerful one-page summary of, what you need to work on, where you are and stuff like that. So first section up here is current situation at the end of year 2021. So this is going to be from your rear view mirror exercise, right? So this is going to be when you reflected back on 2021, what went good, what went bad, where are you right now? Like, where do you stand? Like, whether it's sales volume or is your website up, this and that, where are you? Do you have enough customers? Do you want more customers? That type of thing. Where you stand, where you are, right? And then over here is the desired situation. Oh, wrong way. Desired situation at the end of 2022. So pretend it's the end of the year, right? We're at the end of the year. We're at a New Year's Eve party for 2022, and we're talking about like what we accomplished and stuff like that. So at the end of the year, what do you want to have accomplished at the end of 2022? Maybe you don't have a website, but you want to put up a website. Maybe you want to, stop doing shows and just sell on Etsy. Maybe you don't want to sell on Etsy and you want to do shows, whatever it is, whatever your desired situation is. Maybe you want to build more inventory. You got wiped out this fall during Christmas season. You want more inventory because you ran out. Maybe you need to hire employees. Maybe, you need to document all your processes, whatever it is, whatever the desired situation is, you want to put that over there. And then in the middle, the gap, that's what you need to do to get from here to here, right? And then I broke it down a little more too. So I have 3-year, 5-year, and 10-year goals. So these I usually find is like, big hairy goals, that type of thing. So 3 years from now, maybe you want to have a new car. Maybe you want to, have more money saved. Maybe you want to have kids. Maybe you want to find a new job. Maybe you want to add candles to your line, or you want to add soaps to your line, expand your line, whatever it is. Maybe you want to add a store, open up a storefront. Maybe you want to have a warehouse, where you have some manufacturing facility, whatever it is in those years, put in there. Maybe you want to write a book. So publish your books in 3, 5, or 10 years. Maybe publish a book in 3 years, 2 books in 5 years, that type of thing. Whatever it is that you want, put in there. And it can be anything. Right? This is yours. It can be anything. There's no right or wrong answers. There's just the answers that you put there based on what you want, your life goals and stuff. So it's kind of fun. Like if you think about it, and well, in 10 years, maybe I'll have, this because I put it on there. So, within 3 years, I want to have grandkids. So I put that on there. That's one of my, and then I look at that and that makes me really happy to look at. So, and then at the bottom here, another reflective exercise, 2021 challenges. What challenged you in 2021? Was it supply chain issues? Was it technology issues? Was it staffing issues? Was it all of the above? Was it, the weather? Was it, whatever your challenges were, like what you felt was really difficult for you? it's important to put it down. Like, again, it's not an exercise about beating yourself up or, you didn't do good enough, or it's not about that. Not about that at all. It's just, what challenged you. And keep this. I encourage you to keep this for years too. I still have my strategic plan templates that I did like back from like 2010, 2011. I love reading them. That's great, great, great reads. So, it was funny, like sometimes the same problems challenged me back then that challenge me now, whether it's staffing issues or whatever, or, whatever, out of warehouse space. That's a big one that appeared a few times on there. But whatever challenged you. So just put down on there. And then over here, 2022 focus. What are you going to focus on for 2022, right? Where do you need to focus on? Maybe you want to expand your store. Maybe you want to do more shows. Maybe, again, this all ties in together. You want to grow your sales. You want to vacation more because you work too hard. Too many challenges in 2021. You work too hard. You want to vacation a little more. That's fine too. That's fine too. It's whatever you want. This is your plan for an awesome 2022, whatever that looks like for you, right? So this is a one-page kind of summary. And this is stuff that we work on all year long. So we have 12 months, 52 weeks, 360, well, not quite 365 days. We have a lot of time to be working on this. So this is your whole year plan. So I will, Lori, your comment. Maybe check with your kids' goals. I know, I do. So I've suggested it for years, the grandkids thing, I have grand dogs and grand horses. Those are amazing. Love them. Okay. So next, this sheet, I always keep and hang up. So this is, once you decide what your priorities and your focus are. So this outlines, your current situation. That's going to set your priorities and your focus for 2022. Once you know what that is, I broke it down into quarters here. So this would be like first quarter, January to March, second quarter, April to June, third quarter, July to September, fourth quarter, October to December, right? So it breaks it down into quarters because a lot of things, that you're going to have maybe a year-long project, maybe you're launching a website this year, right? Well, that's not something that you're going to get done in just a month, right? Maybe you'll launch it, but then it needs, pictures and more content and better SEO and all that type of stuff. So that's work in progress. You put your work in progress on there. And I broke this down into 5 different categories. So for me, what that looks like the first category, I would put as, like my marketing. What are my marketing? What am I going to do in my marketing? So I put that on there. Next would be like my operations. So operations, what are my plans for improvement for operations? Like each quarter, what are we going to accomplish and stuff like that? Where can we improve? What are we going to accomplish? What do we need to do? We're going to fix our machines that are broken, or we're going to start doing this, start manufacturing this, and instead of outsourcing it, maybe we're going to put up more warehouse racking, like pallet racking is going to be on here. We need more pallet racking in our new warehouse too, so that's going to be on there. So whatever it is, you can put on there. Number 3, what do I have for number 3? I think that's website improvements. That's, anything that we want to do to our website, that type of thing. So, but you can break this down any way you see. So maybe it's, your store, maybe it's vacationing, maybe it's, whatever it is, break it down into whatever. Maybe you won't have 5 and you won't fill out all 5. You don't need to. You don't even need to use this. If this is like too high level and too far out and stuff like that, you don't really need to go there either. So sometimes, not every year I use all these tools, but most years I do use most of them. So, and this one's a good one, just very high level. Usually in my October to December, it's something like ship orders and sell. So we kind of work all year in this industry towards the fourth quarter. And then I just want to make sure all the orders go out. I know you guys need your stuff for craft shows and everything like that. So I want to make sure all the orders go out, everything flows, products are coming in and going out and stuff like that. So that's usually all I have planned in there. All my other work has to get done before the fourth quarter. So that's what mine looks like. And then, so within those quarters, each quarter, so there's 4 quarters in a year, each quarter has 13 weeks. So whatever you put in these big boxes, whatever's in that box, you have 13 weeks to accomplish, right? So the next thing that I did is I called it a 13-week race, because once you set some big goals and you're going for them and stuff like that, it seems like, okay, 13 weeks is a long time. I can get stuff done. Well, you would be amazed at how fast that 13 weeks goes. It flies by. So if you're not on it, if you're not setting up steps of each thing that you need to do each week, that 13 weeks just flies by before you know it. And then it's done. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't get that done. Now I have to move it over on that other sheet, and my sheet's all messed up now. So we set this down. So this one, and I did one for each quarter. So there's first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And sometimes it helps to like set up a big area and put all these together and look at them. What I'm going to do for this is this would be also with all 4 quarters and 13 weeks in each quarter. That's 52 weeks. That's all 52 weeks in the year. So if you're setting up things like if you're trying to figure out social media posts or blog posts, or, you know, new products for each month, or what you're going to put on special each month or something like that, maybe you could put that on there each week, have something new. Like if you have a product of the week, you could put that in there. And that way you have all year, you can see where things are and stuff like that. It's right in front of your face for you to see. So this is kind of a nice thing. And then again, there's 4 different spots here instead of 5. There's 5 on here, but there's only 4 on here, because I find that the 5th one could be, you know, may or may not be something that you have a detailed set of tasks for. You can only do so many things. There's only, you know, so many hours in a day for you to get done things too. So maybe this would be like, you know, I'm going to do this, and my employees are going to do this, or whatever. Maybe it could be delegated tasks, not necessarily your tasks alone, but whatever you want to do, put in there. So maybe it's, you know, you want to make sure you visit with your mom or something like that. So put in visit with mom, and then you'll be able to see on there when your mom says, you never come and see me. So be like, Mom, I have it on my calendar here. I've been here like every other week. That's, you know, plenty of time. But you'll be able to see it on there. So wherever your efforts are and all your hard work and stuff like that, it's right in front of you, and you'll be able to see it. So, all right. So those are the quarterly races. And then, this is a fun one too. So sometimes I have an awesome plans by month. So really what this is just a calendar. It has all 12 months on it and stuff like that, with big boxes for you to write in. And that way you can write in, you know, whatever it is you're going to do that month. Maybe you're going on vacation. Maybe you're doing shows. Maybe you're going to use it for this. Maybe you want to keep, you know, one for, because I mean, one of my goals is I want to go camping one place each month and stuff like that. Well, maybe I'll keep this for possibilities of place that I want to go camping, you know, that type of thing. Can't be muddied in with all my other calendars with all my, you know, whatever sales and posts and ops changes and this and that. Maybe I don't want to put it on the same calendar. Maybe I'll want to keep each one of these for something different. Maybe, you know, I like cooking too. So, and I want to try different recipes. So maybe I could do this, you know, January, I'm going to try soup recipes. February, I'm going to try whatever recipes, you know, that type of, you could keep it for that. If you want to try, you know, different things like that. Maybe you want to keep it for craft show events that you're doing. This is just my events calendar. Maybe you want to put everything on there and have it, you know, be really full. So use it however you want. But this is a fun one just to make sure that, you know, whatever you want out of life, whatever you're doing, you're at least doing something on a monthly basis. It'll be filled in and you'll be able to see what you're doing, see where you're getting there and everything. So, and it's all right there in front of you. Again, you know, you may use this sheet and maybe not this, you know, big calendar here. Oops, right there. You know, maybe you'll use this sheet, but not this sheet. Maybe you use this sheet, but not this sheet, you know, whatever works for you. I just put a whole bunch of tools out there that have been useful for me. And like I said, sometimes I use that, sometimes I don't. I find myself not using this one as much anymore because I'll fill this one in a lot more, or my planner a lot more, so I can see it right there. But I still keep that for like different things, you know, tracking when things happen. You know, I have one of my customers, and like every time it rained, their store flooded. So they kept that calendar. They used the calendar and they highlighted every single time the store flooded. So when their landlord came in on dry days and like, hey, see, it's not flooded, everything's going good. It's like, here, look at this calendar. These are all the days where my store flooded. And, so she used the calendar for that and kept track of that and everything. So maybe you want to do that. But that's another idea too. Whatever you need to track on a basis where you want to see it right in front of you. And then my last on here, last but not least, this is my weekly to do. I actually have I have a colorful one that it's a bloom planner, but it's kind of based off this, and it looks like this. So what this does, this is notes, and then this is each day. So anything you have to do, and I recommend, whatever you're doing, put your top 3 things that you need to absolutely positively have to do in each day, or you can put it there. This week I need to top 3 things. So if you accomplish 3 things towards your dreams and goals, that's great. That is awesome. You're making progress every week, right? Maybe you have appointments. Any appointments that you have put in there, you have to do that too. I mean, that's going to take time away from doing other things. So put your appointments in there. But I usually keep this, right in with my computer and stuff like that. Whatever I have to do that week, whatever's going on. And then it kind of makes a nice journal what happened after the end of the week too. Because sometimes, some weeks you just don't get anything done and you're like, why didn't I get anything accomplished? I'm never going to hit my dreams. I'm never going to do my goals because I didn't get anything. And then you look and you had, well, this went on, this went on, this went on, this went on. So then you can go back to, I'm going to do less things for whatever, whatever's taking up your time. I'm going to do less of that and more of other things. But the weekly planner really keeps me on track, especially things like, that you have to do every week that you may forget about and stuff like that. So keep it on there, and that way we did. And then when people were always asking you to do things, if they ask you to do something and you're like, I just can't fit it in, my schedule's full, or this day's open, or I'm wide open this day, you'll be able to see it at a glance, right? It's everything you have to do for the week. It's all at a glance, and you'll be able to see where you have free time and where you can fit other things in too. So I use that religiously every single week. So try to keep track of my stuff. So those are a few things that we use. Obviously, always keep a notepad. I'm a big fan of planners too. I like my planner. It's a weekly and a monthly. So the monthly big thing, and I usually do, keep track of things that have already happened. So it's kind of like rear face things that happened already. So this is plans, things that I want to happen. Whereas my planner would be things that happen. So every day I track things, like how many orders came in, how many orders did we ship, how many work orders did we build, that type of thing. How much money I have due out, like what bills are due out, versus, what sales are coming in, that type of thing. So I keep that on my planner just to keep all the major things in track. And then I'll put, big high level goals for that month on my planner too and everything. And then, whatever's happening in here, I'll put in the weekly part of the planner just so I don't forget. So that I look back on that and be like, I made no progress this week. What happened? But if I keep it kind of as a journal, then I'd be able to see what happened too. So, and this is helpful. Like even at the start of the year, so I'll look back at my other planners at least 2 years back and see if there's anything that I want to revisit for the new year. Like 2020 was crazy. There was a lot of things I wanted to do, but just couldn't do. So I revisited that and I'm like, hey, we're going to bring that alive. 2022, we put up our website. We did the rewards program, which is going great and stuff like that. We can expand on that. We have a lot of things planned, but, nothing like putting up a website or anything. So we'll have more time to do other things. And so I revisited my 2020 thing, saw a whole bunch of ideas in there. I'm like, let's bring that, let's do this or that or whatever. So, bringing that back and putting in the planner too. That way it kind of keeps you going on things, always keeps you with things to do and stuff like that. So, but that's what I'm doing right now. Hopefully you guys are doing a little bit of the same too. So I feel like it always helps me have a better year, a more fulfilling year to write down my goals and what do I want to accomplish and everything like that too. The people that I know that don't do this, they just kind of run spontaneous from day to day and stuff like that. Their life stays the same. Not that that's bad. That's not bad either. So, but I'm only on this earth for like 100 years. I want to make the most of it and get everything in that I can. So there's lots of things to see and do, and want to make sure I take advantage of all of it. So planning, strategic planning and everything helps keep me on track and stuff. So, all right. See lots of comments in there. So Cecilia, Liz Morgan's on here, Lori, Tammy. Hi, everybody. So is anybody going to take advantage of these tools and start to plan, start to do some of this, start to think about what you want and stuff, even if you write a few things down and just keep it on the wall. So Lori says it was helpful. Good. Yeah, even if you just write a few things down, it doesn't have to be full. I feel like better years are years when there maybe isn't as much. If it's real full, I feel like it's really hectic. So and you don't want to create more chaos for yourself, right? This is meant to make your life easier and keep you on track and make things easier. So yeah, Lori likes to plan, and these are great ideas. Good. Glad you all get some use out of it. So if there's anything else you guys want to see in this, like other helpful exercises that help you out too, post them in the comments. I always like to, do new things and new life exercises and stuff too. So, post that in there and everything too. I love new ideas, and we can incorporate that in our 2023 strategic planning, which will probably be right around the corner. So Liz says, I'm always a holiday behind. I know. I get more inspired when I'm in the holiday. One thing we're doing, so behind me, this is our wall of planning for all of our promotions and stuff like that. So, and then, but I'm very graphic oriented. So I just bought one of those little printers because I take pictures with my phone all the time. This is a cool idea. This is a cool idea. And then the pictures get lost in my phone and I forget about them and stuff. So I bought one of those little printers. So every time I take a cool picture of something that oh, that would be a cool project. Oh, that'd make a great candle. Oh, that'd make a great soap. I take a picture of it or the idea or the inspiration and print it out and then put it on my calendar behind me. So I feel like that'll help keep me on track more too. So maybe keep you ahead on the holidays. So because you can make your plans now for the next year for 2022 holiday, right? So if you're still in the Christmas mode and stuff, put it on your list for next year. So implement it next year, but get it down in writing, and that way you won't forget. All righty, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us today. It was fun. Good seeing all of you again. Next week, we're going to it's Valentine's. So it's time for Valentine's planning and stuff like that. So we're going to do some cool Valentine's things. We'll go over the Valentine's fragrances, different ideas, just different things to get you inspired for the holiday, different fun things. So it'll be cool. So we will see you next week. Have a very awesome week and Happy New Year, everybody. So, all right. Thanks for watching.